Hey guys, today I wanted to do a Whole30 budget-friendly kitchen gadget video. Now obviously you don't need any specific kitchen gadgets to do the Whole30. All you need, is somewhere to cook and something to cook in, and you're set because you're just cooking whole, real food and you don't need to do anything fancy to do a Whole30. Don't let me make you feel like you need to spend any money to do a Whole30 because you really don't. When we did our first Whole30, we didn't have all of these things, but just as we've done more throughout the years, these have been some of the things that have been really, really useful to me that are budget friendly. Now, we've bought some other things that are a little bit less budget friendly, a little bit more expensive that are really useful too, like our Instant Pot and our Blend Tech, and those have been awesome splurges that I have loved. But I am a budget girl at heart. Some may even call me cheap, but I just like to be frugal with my money. So if you are like that and you are interested in looking for some fun kitchen gadgets to spice up your Whole30, I recommend that you check these out. If I had to pick one, I think this is right. But if I had to pick one thing to have for my Whole30, it would be my kitchen shears. So this might seem really basic, but I love these. I use them to cut up vegetables and meat, to open packages of bacon, and I just feel like I use these all the time. Cut off the stems of asparagus, or after I cook something, because my kids don't really like big chunks, I'll just use the scissors to get in there and cut everything up into little bite-sized pieces, and it makes them eat way more vegetables. So I just highly recommend that if you don't yet have a pair of kitchen shears, that you go get some. They're really cheap and they're really handy. Next is my immersion blender. I use this every morning to make my coffee or tea, and in my opinion it's absolutely necessary to have one of these to make homemade mayo, which is so convenient and delicious when you're on the Whole30. I have found that the immersion blender is the best tool to whip up really creamy, fluffy mayonnaise in seconds. Not to mention, this is the tool that I use to get my latte effect on my coffee. So when I put my coconut oil and collagen and coconut milk into my coffee, using the immersion blender is what gives it that really nice foam on top, which to me really makes a difference, because the foam is what I go for when I buy a latte out. So to be able to recreate that foam at home is awesome. Next up is my garlic press, which again is really, really simple. I add garlic to everything. And you know, when a recipe says like 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, I take that as just a recommendation and put in like 5 or 6. I love garlic. It's so healthy for you. It makes everything taste so good. And during the Whole30, it is such a great seasoning to everything. Next up is my copper pan. I remember when my husband wanted to buy this, I was like, why? We don't need another pan. We were gifted a stainless steel set for our wedding, and those have lasted us forever. They're still really great. And we have one tiny nonstick pan for eggs. So I was like, ugh, I don't need another pan. I don't want to buy any more pans. Like, we have enough. If they're dirty, then we wash it. Like, I don't like to gather lots of kitchen utensils because we have a really small kitchen and we don't have a lot of storage space, and so I don't like to have clutter everywhere, so I really didn't want to buy another pan. But he was really gung-ho on buying this, and I'm so glad that we did, because I love this pan. It's a non-stick pan, and you can cook anything in here and it doesn't stick. It's a nice big wide shape. So right now the non-stick egg pan that we have is only like this big, so it's just big enough for making eggs. This has been so nice to have to make so many different things, and it's made with copper, so it's a lot healthier than pans that are made with Teflon and things like that. Okay, next up, this isn't really a kitchen gadget or appliance, but it's my water bottle, and this, I love this thing. I love this thing, especially when I'm on the Whole30, and anytime that I'm trying to be really mindful about eating healthy and make sure that I'm getting enough water. I find this so helpful because it's 22 ounces. I can take it with me everywhere, and that way I can really keep track of how many ounces I'm getting. Right now I am pregnant, and so I'm trying to drink at least 4 or 5 of these a day. So it just really helps me keep track of my water intake by how many of these I've drank. Also, I love that it's made out of glass. I try to avoid plastic, and I have had some metal water bottles, but you know, I feel like they always kind of eventually give off a little bit of a taste of metal, and so I really love the glass. It's a really clean taste, and I know that it's healthier than plastic water bottles. Also, it has this nice rubberized coating that comes with it to prevent it from getting broken. I've dropped this plenty of times, trust me, and it has not broken. I did have one that broke before, and this was like almost 2 years ago, I guess. I had one exactly like this, and I was outside and it fell onto concrete and it did break. The good news about that though is that you can go on their website and buy a replacement bottle for really, really cheap. I feel like it was only a couple of bucks. And then I just reused this sleeve, and this one has been going strong for about 2 years. The other thing that I really love about this is the straw top. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, drinking things out of a straw for some reason helps me to drink more. I think it's because, and this is a little sad to admit, but I think it's because it eliminates one extra step from drinking, which that might just be me being lazy or just a quirk of my personality, but having to unscrew the top and then drink just doesn't help me drink as much water as being able to keep this open and just drink from the straw. Also, that way I feel like I can drink it while I'm in bed or laying down, and I don't have to worry about any spills. I can also pass it back to my daughters in their car seats, and I don't have to worry about them spilling it everywhere. I just feel like it's really handy to have the straw top. Now, if you don't care about that, you can actually get these for even cheaper without the straw cap. But I love this thing. I take it with me everywhere, to the yoga studio, the ballet studio, the grocery store, in the car, in my bed. Just, it's with me all of the time right now, and I love it. The other thing that I totally love is my Spaghetti. I bought the Spaghetti right before our first Whole30. Randomly, I was at a Walgreens and it was on clearance for $14, and so I thought, oh well, I'll buy this, and if we only use it during the Whole30, it was only $14, so it's like the cost of us going out to eat or something like that. But then we've continued to use it for the last 2 years all the time to make vegetable noodles out of all sorts of vegetables, and to make our fried potatoes and sweet potatoes and apples. And it's just turned out to be a really, really handy product when you're going grain-free or trying to get more vegetables in. But I do think it's worth it to get the one that has a hand crank rather than the handheld one, depending on how many people you're cooking for, of course. If it's just you or just you and a partner, having a handheld one might be fine. But for the amount of zoodles that we make, I find the hand crank one really useful. There's one other thing I wanted to mention that is on my wish list. One of those things that is like a chopper, so you can put in like an onion or a bell pepper or some kind of vegetable and chop it into tiny pieces with one little press. I feel like that would be so handy. I haven't been able to bring myself to spend the, you know, $20 or $30 on it yet because I don't want to spend the money, and like I said, I don't want to have too many gadgets around my tiny kitchen, but it just seems like it would be really useful, especially during the Whole30, or if you're eating lots of vegetables, which we try to do. I kind of really dread the task of chopping all the vegetables into tiny pieces right now. I mean, if I had all the time in the world and it was just me, I love to chop vegetables and listen to a podcast or something, but the time that it takes right now is really annoying to me. So I'd love to hear if you have one of those choppers, if you love it and use it all the time and recommend that I get one, or if you feel like it's something that I can live without. Alright guys, that's it. Those are my top 6 Whole30 kitchen gadget recommendations on a budget. I'd love to hear what you think. Comment below and let me know what your favorite Whole30 kitchen gadget is, and also maybe something that's on your wish list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you like it, and subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you guys next time.